Ask the Giant, The Next Generation, Season 3.
Hey guys, it's your boy, the sales giant, with the man, the myth, the legend, Lake Ronkonkoma. No, the man, the myth, the legend is Brody Karp, and we're here on Season 3 of Ask the Giant, The Next Generation, and we are getting out of the studio
and back to the wild, which is the name of Season 3, into the wild.
We're going into the wild and we're checking out some iconic, amazing spots. Now, Brody, why don't you tell us about the person who carved the wooden statue of the woman who pulls people into the lake?
So there's this guy who actually made the statue, and he was inspired by all the Indian tribes here. So he spent multiple years carving away, chipping very slowly, and he took a lot of time and work in it. And eventually, every time people saw it, they'd honk because they looked at this amazing sight and like, oh my God, how is this even possible? And this guy inspired a lot of his work on the Indian tribes that used to live here in Ronkonkoma and Lake Grove. And now, actually, it's a monument there. It shows a really cool photo.
That's awesome, yes. And when you're driving towards Lake Ronkonkoma, you will see the statue, which is carved out of a tree on the side of the road. And what the statue does is the statue looks upon the lake every single day.
Probably guarding it in some way.
Guarding the lake, exactly.
Yeah.
And then pulling in young men.
Well, that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about the history of Lake Ronkonkoma. Next week, we're going to head to an insane location you're never going to guess.